I almost didn't think I was going to see this time of the day. I wasn't going to do a video, but I decided I'd go ahead and do so after I got to looking at some things. I guess the fancy word might be called ruddy. I call it filthy, and I am tonight. It's all fun and games till the weeds start growing. I'd forgotten all about those little boogers. So got out here and tilled up half of the pasture and planted and rocking along, everything looking good. And a couple of rains come and weeds everywhere. And I guess I'm just too picky. I had to get out here on my hands and knees and get all of them up. But there was at one point today when I was tilling the main rows that I was like, my goodness, I'm in over my head. But I just looked down at my shirt and reminded me that you just don't quit. Took me back to that story I've told a couple times about Mama. We'd be out there picking those peas about daybreak. That's the only time in July it was cool enough to do it, or June. And you just keep picking and picking, and she'd say, just get one more row, one more row. So I just put my head down and kept getting it done. But the weeds are arrested today and on the run. So I've got just a few left from this round. Hopefully these plants will be big enough pretty quick to where it won't matter. But right now with them just sprouting and getting their root structure down, we don't need any mineral robbers. I guess it was, well, 5 hours, let's see. Yeah, I guess it was about this time of the day last year that Jordan and I and Mom and Dad had a full U-Haul, and I saw the sunset over the Brazos River for the last time as a resident of Waco, at least in that season of life. We headed to this old home place. It's hard to believe it's been a year. Some days it feels like I've lived here for a while, and other days it feels like I just moved in. Looking at this pasture, we just mowed and it's already back up and running. I had to give that corn a little sprinkle tonight. I was shifting around the roots pretty good, and they need a little drink this evening, even though we've had plenty of rain. But just blessed tonight, thinking back at, man, that was another thing kept me going today. As I thought about it, I'm like, man, you can't let these little old weeds whoop you. I looked around and saw the brushweed cleared, and just I guess I'm seeing the worth of 6 kids or more in an agriculture family, because you sure need some help in that garden when you get one that big. There's always something to fiddle and do, and been busy this week with stuff to pay the bills, and you know how it is. Just had to stop and get after it this afternoon. I finally walked away, I think about 2 o'clock, went in there and sat down and had me a nap, because I would just give out. Got up and made me a fried egg sandwich and hit it again and knocked it out. So there we go. How's that for a Saturday afternoon pick-me-up? And it got it done. Well, our baby's still laying good. We're averaging about 21 eggs a day. I'm gonna have more tomato plants, and I can see straight. Look at all them tomato plants, and that's after all of them are planted. And peppers, and yes, I labeled the marigolds this time. I sure did. So here. There we go. I know which ones are what. Probably gonna sit down tonight and look at some of those original videos where I kind of scan. They're all on YouTube. You can sort them from the oldest. But a year ago today, at midnight, we bumped up against that back porch and came back that next morning and unloaded. And this place was grown up. I can't believe I can even walk through it now. I gotta go back and be reminded. I saw Chris popped on here. You got a big journey ahead of you on restoring your mom's place. You mentioned that the other day, good friend of mine in Louisiana. So I'm gonna tell you now, don't even look at the big picture. Just take one little old stick at a time. That's all you can do. Otherwise it'll knock you down. It's kind of like life, I guess. I try to look at You gotta have big goals and look at the big picture, I guess. But if you let all the troubles pile in on you, it's like that old haystring. I still love that. I think of that many times in relation to tackling things. So I'm telling you, it can get overwhelming, y'all. Not just clearing, but just life in general. It gets down to even the coffee maker don't work right and it sets you off. Can't let that happen. We gotta rise above that. I'm gonna head out here and look at this old haystring again. That'd be a good reminder after the day I've had. But y'all know when I got a big old bundle of it, there ain't no way you'd ever break that in half, could you? Something else that was here on the farm. But you look at that, if that's life's problems, I'd be hard pressed to break that just like it is. See if I can set this camera down for a second on this old rusty thing. There we go. I ain't that strong anyway, but I guarantee you, you'd be challenged to break that. Well, there I go. I guess rotting helps too, right? But y'all know what I mean on a fresh one. This one's been out here about 30 years. But you take those strands and pop them off one by one. Each of life's problem. Maybe the car didn't start. You got that fixed, and late for work, got that made up. Just one by one. Before long, you're breaking it down, and it helps. Or just get you some rotten haystring that'll break all at once. that works too, right? Teach me to go live, won't it? Well, see, there you go. Life happens. Well, let me check off real quick here, do a roll call, and we're gonna call it an evening. This old boy is whooped today. I'll go cut that sprinkler off, just give him a little drink, put them chickens up, and I'm gonna get in there and get steel, I believe. All right, there's Margaret checking in. Thank you, ma'am. Kathy, yes, ma'am, it is hard work, sure is. I tell you another thing about weeding. If you're on your hands and knees, I think I'm gonna have some of the hottest peppers, probably the hottest corn, all that around here. Fire ants are everywhere, and I have got 8 up today. I didn't realize till I'd already in a bed of them, but my knees are stung up, my hands, but anyway, so they may be down there stinging. Them peppers may make them a little extra hotter, right? Won't have to use so many of them. There's Cheryl, how are you? Let's see, moving here to Linda, thank you. Good afternoon to you too, man. We're going to get by here and see little roosters. The little white one is acclimated and mixing in with the rest of them pretty good. Old Cogburn, all of them doing well. Hey Patricia, how are you? There's Ann from Cedartown, Georgia. Yes, Carolyn, I got the eggs. We got right at 22 this evening. Sure did. There's Chris, as I mentioned. And Susan, good evening. How are you? Teddy says, hello from the foothills of North Carolina. Well, God bless you too. There's Gene Blankenship checking in. Stacy. Cucumber and cherry tomato plants. Stacy, I don't have any cherry tomato plants. They all died on that first round back when it got too cold. I do have some cucumbers. They're pickling cucumbers, though. They're not the purpless. So just message me and let me know. We'll see if we can get rolling for you there. There's Mary. How are you? Yeah, a lot of changes. Sure is. Miss Carrie from Fort Stockton. And there's Manuel. How are you, buddy? Trudy, tackling one at a time. That's right. Miss Brenda's in Beckville. Thank you for checking in. And Kathy, yeah, stronger than I thought. How about that? Hey, Charlotte, how are you? Cornmeal for ants. Well, the corn ain't grown yet, though, Chris. The corn, I got to grow the corn, and then I got to mill it, and then I won't need it because I already picked the corn. Won't be worried about the fire ants and the weeds. Susan says she's been planting tomatoes. Hey, Glenn, how are you, buddy? We still got to get together. It's going to be pea picking time here in about another 45 days or so. You're going to have to plan a trip. I mean that. Take you home a couple of bushels of purple hulls and cream crowders. And my grab you some of these onions here. Well, I'm gonna have onions everywhere. I'm telling you what, that and garlic. There's Misty. Hey, how are you? Patty's in Parker County. Melinda's up in Oregon. It's a running joke about Nebraska or Oregon. I'm gonna get it straight. You don't have to type it anymore. How about that? Susan's planting asparagus. I should have done that. And Deborah says hi from Michigan. I had a little spot. I guess it's just man, I ain't having no good luck on Amazon, y'all. I'm telling you what. Let's say I ordered an incubator, got ripped off on that. It's gone. Wasn't that much. And I got me a little old soil tester coming. And it ain't here yet. I guess it's coming from another planet. And anyway, it wasn't no count on money either. So I should have known better. They had them at Lone Star. I just picked it up there for a few extra dollars. I've been done. Lesson learned. So I'll be getting me one at Lone Star. But there's a couple of little tricks. I was trying to figure out what was wrong with this spot right here, because I'd planted carrots and lettuce and peas and stuff like that in there, and I mean, it didn't come up at all. I pretty much knew what the deal was, and those that know will know that's a pine tree. So what do you think that is? Might be just acidic. And I was right. I figured it was. There's a little couple of home tests you can do with getting your dirt and believe it or not, some vinegar and baking soda, and it'll kind of give you an idea which way your soil's leaning. Lots of recipes on how to do that. But anyway, so I've got some acid soil there like I suspected. So we'll be putting some peppers and some other stuff in that. I plowed everything under, except for the others that do well, the greens and potatoes. Y'all look at Dad's russet potatoes from the store. They wasn't meant to be seed potatoes, but those are russet potatoes that sprouted, and he's gonna we threw them in the ground. So now we'll just see if they make, right? That's the next test. But that don't beat all. All right, I've rambled enough. Let's see, Amazon. That's me. Yep, I know it, Stacy. I never fooled around with that. Online ordering a whole lot and snake bit twice in a row. I'm done with that. I do believe I'm done with that. So I'd rather pay a little extra and walk out with it. Shoot, that's what's backed us into the corners, all that bargain shopping, y'all. Guarantee you ain't gonna be able to buy my corn $5 for $1 at the store. Nope. Ain't gonna happen. I know what kind of work went into it. I've got a lot more appreciation for, always had deep respect for farmers, but you looking at them prices, y'all had no idea what kind of work goes into it. They're on big commercial operations, but even at the farmer's market. But a lot of work. A lot of work. I don't see how in the world you'd make a living at it. It'd take a lot. Goodness. Well, we'll enjoy it just the same. All right, we're out of here. Y'all have a good evening. And just do right and keep plugging. Take them problems like one strand of the hay string and break it off one at a time. That's about the only way we can do it anyway. Be the light, y'all. Have a good evening.